Last night, it was my great privilege to speak with Robert Mickens and Elizabeth Alvarado, whose 15-year-old daughter, Nisa Mickens, was murdered by MS-13 gang members. They were guests, as I said, of President Trump at Tuesday's State of the Union address, as were my next guests, Evelyn Rodriguez and Freddie Cuevas. They are the parents of Kayla Cuevas, a 16-year-old who was also killed by MS-13 gang members. And both of you, I want to say, I know it's very difficult to come out and talk about this subject because it makes you think of what happened to your daughter just 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago. But we really appreciate your testimony and your witness to what is the truth. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Evelyn, I'd like to start with you. You've heard the sentiment expressed time and again that the President Trump is making too much of this MS-13 issue, that it's being used for just political purposes, and people didn't even know about MS-13 unless it was for Fox News, kind of dismissing it. What's your reaction to that?
You know, it's a situation that it's pretty much all over, and we need to find a solution in order to take care of this. It is a serious problem, and I just don't want another family to go through the pain that we've been enduring every day since this happened.
Freddie, for our viewers who don't know the brutality of MS-13, tell us what happened to Kayla.
Unfortunately, that sad day, Kayla was announced by Nisa and, you know, her best friend, you know, to go into seeing a friend and whatnot. So they went over to see a friend so they can tackle whatever situation that they had, which was very minor. And they went over there, they made their friendship, they made their peace. On the way back, that's when I think
the situation occurred.
Things went wrong. They was already in the parking lot, and they was, you know, hanging out there in the parking lot, whatnot. And unfortunately, my daughter and Nisa, on that specific day, happened to be crossing the boundaries of Loretta Park. So once they crossed Loretta Park, and being them parked in Loretta Park, they happened to come across the controversy.
Well, the motto of MS-13 is kill, rape, and control. And Evelyn, I have a daughter who's 12 and a half years old, and my heart breaks for you to have read what they did to her. But they beat both girls with a baseball bat, and police who found them said they had not ever seen such brutality. They've seen a lot in Long Island, never seen anything like it. You were there at the State of the Union, and there were a lot of people who stood and applauded for your courage and for your daughter. There were a lot of people who sat on their hands scowling. What do you say to them tonight, those who would not stand to honor your daughter?
You know, everybody has their opinions. I just want to thank for those who stood up and believed in what we're trying to do. You know, I don't know what they were thinking. I know as a parent, I'm feeling the loss of my daughter. I feel it every day. There's not a day, a second, that I don't think about my daughter. And they just don't understand the pain of a parent losing their child to this gang violence. And I hope they never will. It's something that you don't think about. You know, our kids should be burying us when we're ready to go, not the parents burying their kids. Their lives are ahead of them. You know, I just want the government to really think about the choices and the solutions and the plans that they have in order to take care of this problem. It's a serious problem. They need to really consider it. I know there's other issues here in the U.S., but this is one issue that they need to tackle on.
Well, I think there's a lot of empathy expressed on a daily basis for people who are in the country illegally, who fear deportation, and I'm sure that's a legitimate fear. What we want to do on this show is showcase those who are forgotten. And until President Trump came along, I think they were largely ignored or invisible victims. But we think the empathy should go to American citizens who are brutally hurt and harmed and killed by people who should never have been in this country in the first place. And that's what we're going to do every night. And we just salute you for coming on. And I know how hard it is. You're not a political person, but I think we need solutions that ensure that
to be,
none of this happens again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Right.
this can't keep happening.
I just want to make sure. No,
Absolutely
no,
not.
no.
Absolutely not.
I just want the resources and the programs and the funding to come into our community and the schools. And like I said, this is not just happening here in Suffolk County. It's happening all over.
40 states. There are
So we have to
10,000 members of
provide-
MS-13 all across the United States. Evelyn, Freddie, we
Right.
really appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Well,
really
thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us as well.